everybody. Welcome back to Environmental Science Analysis with Dr. Lisa. Many of you have been having trouble figuring out how to get location information for data that you download from Storette. So I'm going to show you how to do that real quick here. And I'm going to do my favorite thing, which is PFAS. So I'm going to look for PFAS data from Minnesota. Let's see, where are we? Perfluoroalkyl substances. Okay, so down here where you have different data you can download, there's actually a number of different things. We could download the sample results, and this is going to be very, very similar to the one that I downloaded in my previous video. Yeah, open that. And I could open this up. And it'll open up in Excel here very quickly, hopefully any second now. Go Excel, go! Go Excel, go! Yeah, 57%. It's almost there. Here we go. Okay, so let me wrap text here so you can see these headers a little bit better. And if you go over here, there is something called the monitoring location identifier. Okay, that right there is the monitoring location. So now if I go back to Storette, if instead of downloading the sample results, I can download the site data only. I don't understand why they make you do it this way. It is kind of stupid. I agree. No argument there. But here's a file that you download that's called Station. I'm going to open this up in Excel. And there it is. And again, I'll wrap the text here so you can see. And somewhere in here, there is another monitoring location identifier. Okay, and you can see some of these are the same. Minnesota Pollution Control Authority, got some of the same numbers here as you have in here, monitoring location identifier. Okay, so your question is, how do I link the two? Well, you could do that by using the VLOOKUP command in Excel. Let's go back to Station here for a moment. So here's your station ID, and notice here's your latitude and longitude. So it is there. The other thing you note for those of you who are really into GIS is that it gives you a horizontal coordinate reference datum, and this is very, very important if you're going to map the data. It's good to know what that is. WGS 84 and NAD 83 are two of the most common ones, but you might occasionally see some weird stuff in here. And if you're getting a quote-unquote latitude and longitude that don't look like a latitude and longitude, they look like a much longer string of numbers, then you probably have UTM coordinates, Universal Transmercator. It's a little bit more difficult, but can be done. You could also have state plane coordinates. There's a lot of different coordinate systems you can use. I believe that Storette is always going to use latitude and longitude, I believe. And for purposes of this class, latitude and longitude is fine. It probably has a slightly higher uncertainty in terms of the spatial coordinates, so you might be off by a meter or two when you map the coordinates, and for what we're doing, that probably doesn't matter too much. But if we were doing really precise work, we might need to get more precision on our latitude and longitude, so we might use the state plane coordinate system, for example. Okay, so we could do this by going to here to the result, and we could use the VLOOKUP command, which stands for vertical lookup, and we could look up the latitude and longitude that go with these numbers, with these identifiers. But I'm going to show you how to do this in Microsoft Access. Okay, so we're going to open up Access here. We're going to create a blank database, and we'll call it PFAS Minnesota, because that's what we were searching for. And then we're going to external data, new data source from a text file. And I saved these to my documents, and so they should, in theory, show up here. Really? They really should. Okay, so the reason that they're not showing up here is because if I go to my file here, I have to extract it here from my file. Yep, extract that one, and I also have to go and extract so that was the station, and I need to go also extract here, there we go. Come on baby, you can do it, all the way up. Oh boy, just not cooperating today. I really did. I practiced this. I really, really did. Like, not even kidding. I practiced this before I made the video and it worked fine. There we go. And then I need to extract the result as well. Extract. Okay. Now, when I go here, let's cancel it and do it again. Browse. Yes, in theory, first thing I see should be date modified. What happened to it? It was right there. Oh, I don't know why it appears down here. It's hiding. It's hiding from me. Why is it hiding from me? Because it's looking for text files and they haven't been exported yet, and it's very, very frustrating. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, sorry about that. We were experiencing technical difficulties. So they are here in these two folders called Result and Station. And I've done this multiple times, which is why I have Result 2 and Station 4. But anyway, here's my results. I open it up. I'm going to import this, open it. And we've done this before, so we kind of know how this works. We say that this is comma-separated values, so it's delimited. It is comma delimited. The first row contains our field names. Yeah, that's fine. And we have a text qualifier for the quotation marks. That's very important. Then we hit finish. Okay. That'll take a second. So there's our results now popping up in Microsoft Access. And then we're going to import again a text file. Yes, except now we're not in the thing called Result 2, but we'll go back to it here. We go back to Documents, and we go to Station 4, because I've done this 4 times now. Yay, lucky me! Okay, so now I'm going to open up the station. Same thing. I'm going to import this into a new table, not going to append it because they're quite different. I wouldn't want to append it to the existing one. Again, delimited, and again, if you look closely, you know, you do have the text qualifiers here. You do have quotation marks, and it's important to get those right because otherwise, you know, there's a comma here between Grand Portage and Minnesota, and it'll go into the wrong column, so we have to make sure we put our text qualifier in there. Much better. Okay, and first row contains field names. That is, again, true. And we hit finish. Okay, so now we have created 2 tables. I never save the steps. I probably should, but I don't. Okay, so here's our results. Let's open here, and I'm going to open Stations. Right? Stations? Yep, there we go. Okay, here's our stations. So now, if I want to do a query, I could create a query. I like to use the query wizard. Let's create a crosstab query. And let's say I'm going to, so when you're using the wizard, you only get to choose one table here, so let's choose results. This is just to get us going. So I'm going to put activity identifier in here, and then somewhere in here I had my monitoring location identifier. Put that over there, and then maybe activity start time. Actually, we probably want start date, activity start date. That's good. Okay, and then hit next. And now which do you want to be your column headings? I'm going to choose my characteristic name as my heading, and then maybe I want my result measured value, and I'm just going to count them, and I don't want my sums. Okay, finish. Okay, so here's going to be my query, and you can see because I did counts, I just have a whole lot of zeros here, but there are some there's some numbers. The zeros mean that they tried to measure it, but it was non-detect. And the ones mean that they tried to measure it, and it was detected. So there's a few ones. You know, this is a problem. This data set has a lot of non-detects. That's life. What are you going to do? But now I go back to my design view, and now, ooh, watch this. This is really fancy. I'm going to make this smaller. Okay, right-click and go to Show Table, and now it'll show you all the possible tables, and I want the station. So now I have both the result and the station here. I'll make these a little bit bigger, and you can see now all of the different fields. And what you notice is, I wish this was bigger text. I'm sorry, I don't know how to make the text bigger here. If you look very, very closely, somewhere in here is my monitoring location identifier. There's monitoring location identifier here. And here's monitoring location identifier here, and I need to link them. So I click and drag this over here, and I link it with this monitoring location identifier, and I get this weird little gyro thingy. And now, if you look here at all the options that I have, make this much wider, the first set of all the fields that I can choose from are coming from the table called results. But if I scroll down, now I can choose anything from this station thing too. So I can add my latitude here. Again, I would group it by row heading. And the other way to add it is just to go over here to longitude and just double click on it, and it will appear right here. And then I can say row heading. And then when I run this bad boy, booyah! I have my activity identifier, so that's basically my unique sample identifier. I have my location there, and now I have my latitude and my longitude. Booyah! I'm awesome. Totally can be done. I don't know why Storette makes it as difficult as they do, but that's how they do it. So that's how you can get the latitude and longitude coordinates for anything that's measured in that water quality portal. You should be able to get in that manner.